Okay, so it's July 1st actually, and these are my peppers, as you probably could tell. But I'm doing a little bit different. I've got a change of pace for you for this video. It's actually, this video is actually about my tomato plants. And you see, I don't talk about them very often, but they're in their own little box here. And I planted them a couple of weeks ago, just seedlings. I don't grow them from seed, but I get them from a garden center that's not too far from here. And I've got some interesting plants. So I didn't think to pull out the camcorder when I planted them, but I am doing it now. And then later on, when they're bigger, even I'll try again. And when they have tomatoes on them, I will go again. But I'll tell you a little bit about them. And this video actually is for Bioshock722, who requested that I do a video about my tomato plants, because I never talk about them, so I want everybody to know I do grow tomatoes as well. And it's kind of interesting. I do have 3 heirloom varieties, and I have 2 hybrids. So I know that there's a bit of controversy about the heirloom versus the hybrid. Some people think that maybe as everybody understands that the hybrids are more disease resistant and produce a better type of crop. But the heirlooms, of course, are historical, and some people just like the purity of that. I don't have an opinion one way or the other. I just wanted to get some interesting tomatoes. I just thought that I just wanted to prove that I know what's going on with that. The first one that's over here on the left is a Bush Beefsteak, which is a fairly typical kind of plant and tomato. Tomatoes are about 8 ounces big, and it's an early producer. And you probably know I'm in Canada, and I really prefer to have early producers. Most of mine are. So this is an heirloom, as I mentioned. The next one is called the Brandywine. The only one I actually have some historical perspective on, because it is the heirloom. It's an Amish variety which dates back to the 1880s. And well, I've never grown this type before, which makes it kind of interesting for me. The tomatoes can get to 1 to 1.5 pounds, and they're pinkish in color when they are cut open. This is the longest one, taken about 100 days to produce, or to maturity. So it'll just be interesting to see what happens. The flowers are kind of large on it. I'll get a little bit closer and let you take a look at that. The next one is called the Delicious, which is interesting. That's this one right over here. It's interesting because it's the world record holder for the largest tomato ever produced at 7 pounds. Most of them are not that big, but I do believe they can easily get to 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see. I know they're all going to have to be staked. At the moment, there are no tomatoes on them, so I'm not going to stake them till I need to. The Delicious takes about 77 days, so I know it's going to be fairly late. What am I looking at? I don't want to think about it, but it'll probably be August when I'm pulling tomatoes off of it. We're probably going to have to figure out what we're going to do with the tomatoes if they're all as large as all that. The next 2 are both hybrids. The first one is the Jetsetter. It's this one that's second from the right. It's called the Jetsetter, and typically, pardon me, the fruits get to about 8 ounces in size. So that's pretty good. It's the earliest. It can be anywhere from 50 to 62 days. You know, I'm considering that it's already been, you know, whatever it's been from the time of seed. So it's probably going to be maybe the end of July, I'm hoping. The flowers are kind of big on this one as well. So again, very interesting. And then the one that's on the right is the Husky Red, and the other hybrid. Smaller fruits, 5 ounces maybe the smallest of the bunch of them, and about 68 days to mature. So I believe it's also a beefsteak style of tomatoes, so they're larger. Anyway, like I said, I mean, I don't have very many varieties. Every year I do like to grow different varieties, and just because it's kind of interesting to see. I have no cherry tomatoes, no little yellow pear tomatoes, no grape tomatoes. I've done that in the past, and to tell you the truth, they just wind up rotting on the vine. We just don't pick them, but full-size tomatoes get used a lot. We use them once they start. We use them constantly. We really like tomatoes, and peppers are both members of the nightshade family. So they have very much in common, and they are looked after in the same way. They both like to have direct sunlight and the same type of fertilizer regimen. So that's about it, and I will continue this. Maybe in a few weeks or a month, once I have some activity going on. Thanks for watching. It is August the 23rd, and welcome to Bedlam. So, as I promised Bioshock 722, hi Seth, that I was going to do a video about the tomato plants. I'm gonna do my best to get right in here and show what has happened with them. So this is the beefsteak over here. Right here, and we do have tomatoes. It is a Bush beefsteak, so it's not a very tall plant. We haven't really picked any tomatoes yet. We haven't done that yet. We only have a couple of ripe ones. This next one, if I can figure out where it is the Tomato Brandywine, and fairly good sized fruits on it. You can see they're certainly nice, and we have lots of tomatoes. I mean, a pretty decent number, and none of them are ripe yet. I think we do have a ripe tomato in here someplace. The delicious, that's this one over here. And you can see that we do have a ripe one, which we'll be picking probably today. So I thought before we picked anything, I wanted to just complete this and get it uploaded for you. That's the delicious. The next one is called the Jetsetter. There. And oh yeah, we have a ripe one. Beautiful looking, smooth skinned, right there. And again, jeez, never seen such a chaotic mess. But the plants don't seem to mind it. They seem very happy. At least they are providing us with a lot of tomatoes. More in the back here. And then this one over here is the Husky Red. And also a ripe tomato there. It's another, get off of there. Another bush style of plant, so it's not very tall. But this is it. Right over here. But it is providing us with a lot of tomatoes. So there you have it. There you have it. So now all we probably have another month. Actually, according to AccuWeather, we should be pretty good right through the end of September as far as weather goes. We've had a horrible summer, like most people. But it's supposed to continue. I guess mid-20s Celsius through till the end of September. So we'll be doing great for tomatoes until then. Wow, what a tomato farmer I am. Anyway, this is a bigger mess than normal. I'm just going to put that out there. And I will be doing an update on the pepper plants, which is a little bit chaotic as well, but not as bad as this. So I'll be doing that probably this weekend, but I wanted to get this done and upload it. So thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it.